Good afternoon, everybody. I want to just give everyone an update of what's happening through the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy. So far, to give you some of the good news, Con Ed has restored a couple thousand homes in Yonkers, 18,795 residents continue not to have electric. Some of the residents who never lost power may experience the loss of outages. Don't be alarmed. This is just necessary in order for them to restore the power to those in the surrounding areas. Our DPW Parks crews have cleared 34 streets. We still have 121 streets that are still closed. They are not major thoroughfares, but they are still continue to be our priorities. And we are working around the clock with Con Ed, working with Con Ed to identify and make sure that the trees that are encumbered by wires are de-energized so that we can get those trees removed and allow Con Ed to continue the work of restoring power. Our top priority again today is to make sure to remove the trees and clear the roadways in our neighborhoods. The shelters are still open. PAL is still open. There are 33 people there. Most of them are from 10 Mooney Place. The building department is now working with the owner of that building to try and get some of the issues squared away with the apartments so that we can get those residents moved back in. Tomorrow the schools will be closed, and we still have 9 schools without power, and that's something we'll continue to deal with. Alternate side of the street parking is suspended until Sunday, and parking meters are now reinstated starting tomorrow. So far, we are reporting close to $2 million in damage caused by Hurricane Sandy. I expect that number to rise, and for us to have probably several more $1 million by the time that ends. I have again, continue to plead with the residents of Yonkers, look out for price gouging. And if you see it, if the price seems extremely high, it probably is, don't hesitate to call the Yonkers Consumer Protection Bureau at the helpline at 377-3000. There is a problem with gasoline. And I know that News 12 is starting to report about it now. New Jersey and New York City, and we're seeing an influx of people coming to Yonkers. We've already had several incidents. We had an incident with a fist fight recently. We've had to deploy police personnel to gas stations across the city. There are about 10 gas stations in Yonkers that have run dry. So in an effort to protect the residents of Yonkers, I'm going to be signing an executive order today rationing gasoline to residents or to anyone going to a gas station to 10 gallons. That will slow the push and keep the gas supply in place, because we don't know, none of us really know how long it's going to take for the operations, considering what happened in New Jersey, to come back online. We want to get ahead of this so that the people have available gas supplies. So I'm going again to be issuing an executive order where we will ration gas supplies to 10 gallons per visit. And I'm going to ask Commissioner Meyer to give us an update on what's happening out there. Commissioner.
As you know, Public Works employees and Parks employees have been working since last Friday, many of them on additional hours preparing for the storm. Certainly during the storm and after the storm, many of them have been working around the clock. We're now on 12-hour shifts. We're working all day, every minute of the daylight hours. Our sanitation crews get out there at 6 o'clock in the morning, make their regular garbage pickups. Once they bring the garbage to the Material Recovery Center or facility, then they go back out and they start picking up storm debris. And they continue to do that until 7 p.m. at night. If you have debris, you can put that out in front of your house, and we will collect it. We have had 825 calls for downed trees and limbs. We have cleared 405 of them. We have 140 Con Ed related downed trees. So these are trees down with wires. And we have, Con Ed has cleared about 50 of them for us. So we're going out and we're going to tackle those 50. So we should be able to bring that number down. So DPW, Parks continue to work hard in clearing the streets. As the mayor said, most of the roads, the major intersections we have cleared, and now we're getting on the secondary and then hopefully very soon on the tertiary roads. Con Ed's report, we're down to 18,795 Yonkers residents without power. That number has reduced, as the mayor said, and they have 643 open outages, so 643 reports, separate reports, that have put those 18,000 plus citizens out of power. Our organic yard, where we bring most of, and the residents bring most of their leaves and debris, we have tractor trailers going around the clock now to empty that out to make more room for that debris. We continue to ask residents, if you're clearing, you can help us out by bringing that debris to the organic yard. It is open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. to our residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Gardner.
Thank you, Mayor. You know, although we've been making progress with road conditions, they still are difficult. As the Mayor just mentioned, we still have over 120 block roads. We have 17 traffic lights that are out. So we're asking members of the public to please use caution when driving, have patience, and slow down a little bit. We've also been experiencing, as you heard, long lines at gas stations throughout the city. We've deployed officers to those locations, and we're asking members of the public that if you are online at a gas station, please try not to block the intersection, try not to block the driveways, so that we can keep traffic moving, especially for emergency vehicles. During the evening hours, we will have additional patrols in areas that are without power, and we will be deploying our mobile command center this evening at Scarsdale Road and Underhill Street, where we'll have some safety literature available to the residents in that area. And lastly, we're reminding residents to please verify the identity of emergency or service workers who are asking to have access to your property. They should have photo identification and be in uniform. If you do see any suspicious activity or have any problems or need assistance, please call us at our non-emergency number, which is 377-7900. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Sweeney.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to remind everybody about public and fire safety out there. We're a few days into this. The storm has passed. We don't want any complacency to set in. Please be vigilant about safety out there. If you are using another means to heat your household, well, if your electricity is off out there, please try to use a UL-approved appliance out there that has some certification that makes it more safer than a non-UL approved product out there. Please maintain batteries in your smoke or CO detectors if you do have battery operated detectors, and please be safe when using candles in the household as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And Christina, Yonkers Raceway is still having. All right, so Yonkers Raceway has dry ice available. Again, if you use dry ice, remember it does come with some directions. Read them. Use it in your refrigerator. Don't keep it in confined space, or at least in a combined box. But the refrigerator is okay. The other one over the last point. We all said very clearly that this was going to be a long recovery. That it was going to take days, if not weeks. There are many people out there, especially who still don't have electric, whose streets are still not cleared. And your city workforce is working around the clock to mitigate and bring our lives back to normal as quickly as possible. But there are still those who call who feel that it hasn't been moving quick enough. Watch TV, listen to the news. We're not Breezy Point, we're not New Jersey. We're a city that has some downed trees and some people without electricity. When those trees are cleaned up and the power is put back on, our lives will go right back to normal. So I just think that we need to keep it in perspective, know that there's a recovery efforts going on. We are not alone in this, that the entire region has been devastated by this storm, and it will have an effect on the recovery for all of us here in Yonkers. So, but just know that your city workforce, whether it be the police department, fire department, DPW, parks, your staff here at City Hall is working and committed 100%, and we have the necessary venues in place to take care of our residents, especially if there's a need should arise. So try to be patient, and as my grandmother always told me, this too shall pass, and then we'll move on to something else. So anybody have any questions?
Mayor,
Yes.
yesterday you weren't too happy with Con Ed's response. Has that changed in the last
I think that they've upped their game a little bit. My frustration with them was really clear. We had 14 crews out there clearing the streets, and we couldn't get Con Ed crew in our city to just tell us if a line was energized or not. That hampered our ability to get some things done. They've seen up their game today, and we'll take it day by day. But they have cleared 50 spots for us, and now our crews are out there finishing the job.
As far as the gas situation, Chuck Schumer was on the air earlier today saying that they've gotten the port open so that gas can come in, I'm assuming by boat, into New York City. Is that the process for gas, getting gas into Westchester?
That will
Or does
be,
it come through trucks?
well, that'll be the process. It generally comes in through New Jersey, as I understand it. There were some federal laws that have kind of have been waived so that they get them into New York City. Bottom line is we are seeing a huge influx of people coming into Yonkers. Already 10 gas stations are empty, and that's just today. So we've decided to jump ahead of it. We want to be ahead of it. We can always lift the ration, but for now, we are going to ration gasoline at 10 gallons per customer.
How do you enforce that?
Most of the time, as you know, when you give that to the gas station, they can set their computers where it'll come out 10 gallons. So I think most people will abide by the law.
Are you optimistic?
Or I should say by the order. It's not a law, it's an order.
Right. Are you optimistic that we could see gas deliveries this weekend? Do you have
In looking at this storm and looking at the impacts of this storm, I always try to be optimistic, but I think we need to be prepared for the worst, and that's why we're doing this with gas rationing. Anything else? Great, thank you.
Gracias, señor alcalde, y muy buenas tardes. Para reiterarle a nuestra comunidad que Con Edison ha restablecido alrededor de más de 18.785 casas, restableciendo la electricidad, y quedan más de 2.000 customers, clientes, han sido restauradas su electricidad, y quedan alrededor de 18.000 más para que se les arregle la electricidad. Y a recordar a los residentes que tengan mucho cuidado, que todavía hay muchos cables de energía eléctricas en las calles, y por supuesto las calles que están cerradas, encirculadas, por favor, se han abierto algunas de ellas ya. El Departamento de Policía sugiere también que tengan mucho cuidado para que no haya ningún accidente. También queremos recordarles que las clases mañana van a estar cerradas, porque tenemos algunas escuelas, alrededor de 10 escuelas que no tienen electricidad, así que tienen que recordar y mantener eso en mente. También el Departamento de Parque y Recreación le está recomendando a ustedes que mantengan vigilantes el área, y por supuesto que se mantengan a la expectativa de que se han limpiado algunas calles, pero hay otras que todavía están muy congestionadas de árboles y están bloqueadas. También queremos recordarles que tienen que prestar atención cuando van a las bombas de gasolina, que algunas veces los quieren engañar poniéndole un precio diferente. Así que si tienen algún problema, si encuentran que los precios están muy altos, pueden llamar al Departamento de Protección del Consumidor para que ellos tomen medidas apropiadas. También le está sugiriendo el alcalde que por favor tomen las medidas de que hay estaciones de gasolinas que están desapareciendo sus gasolinas, están gastando la gasolina. Nada más tenemos ciertas bombas de gasolinas aquí en Yonkers que están permitiendo o que tienen gasolina para proveerle a los clientes. Así que se está tomando medidas del lugar para que la gasolina nuestra no se termine, porque la ciudad de Nueva York y la ciudad de New Jersey están completamente fuera de gasolina y no están pudiendo distribuir la gasolina a nuestros lugares, porque se le está haciendo muy difícil, especialmente porque ellos tampoco están pudiendo producir este tipo de gasolina para los vehículos, porque por la electricidad que también ellos están teniendo problemas. Así que por favor mantengan la calma. Nuestra ciudad está haciendo lo mejor posible para asegurarnos de que ustedes tengan su energía para atrás. El Departamento de Bomberos sugiere nuevamente, recordándoles que no traten de obtener electricidad ilegal, traten de que si van a obtener electricidad, que sea una persona que tenga licencia para evitar algunos incendios o que algunos de nuestros niños puedan quemarse. También a recordarle que en el restway se está dando el hielo seco nuevamente, el hielo seco para aquellas personas que lo necesiten. Por favor tengan mucho cuidado y manténganlo en su refrigerador, no lo toquen con las manos, usen guantes especiales para ese tipo de hielo porque le puedes quemar. Así que calma, tengan eso presente, mantengan la vigilancia y por supuesto la policía va a esos lugares donde no hay electricidad. Va a aumentar el número de policías para proteger el área para que no tengan ningún miedo. Así que muchas gracias y presten atención.